can you dump me for money after everything I've done for you? These were the words that Cudjoe asked Duffie over the phone while he sat on his bed crying. And all Duffie had to say was, I can't waste my life on you when a rich man is ready to settle down with me. These words broke Cudjoe's heart. But how did it all start? Well, get ready as we head straight into the story of Duffie and Cudjoe and how they ended up as they did. And if you are new here, please subscribe to this channel for more mind-blowing African stories and folk tales that will set your heart ablaze. So, let's get started. Duffie and Cudjoe had been inseparable ever since they were children. They both grew up in a town called Mfeesi in the Ashanti region of Ghana. Their bond was kind, innocent, and pure. When they finished their senior high school education, their relationship deepened into a romantic one. Duffie came from a humble home. Her parents struggled to provide even a single meal a day. Cudjoe's family, however, was a middle-class income family. While they weren't wealthy, they had enough to get by. But despite his own financial struggles, Cudjoe always found ways to support Duffie. He would save every penny that he could, often skipping meals just to ensure that Duffie never had to skip hers. In their small town, everyone knew them and everyone cheered them on. Both Duffie and Cudjoe got admission to the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Kumasi. But Duffie's parents were reluctant to send her to school because they knew they couldn't afford it. But Cudjoe insisted that they had to send Duffie to the uni at all costs. He educated them on the importance of education and even promised his support financially. When they finally got to school, Cudjoe worked several jobs just to support Duffie's education. He helped her with her assignments and ensured that she had all the resources she needed to survive in school. You see, Duffie's beauty was exceptional and Cudjoe was always proud to have her by his side. He did everything he could in his power to make Duffie happy. After graduation, Duffie quickly secured a job in a government institution while Cudjoe struggled to find employment. So he had to go back to their town because he couldn't afford to pay the rent in the city. Duffie remained a current girlfriend for a while. But after she started mingling with her new colleagues at work and when she started meeting men who showered her with gifts and attention, her attitude began to change. And Cudjoe also noticed the shift in Duffie's attitude. You see, Duffie started ignoring his calls, she stopped visiting, and she started to belittle him because he didn't have money. One evening, as Cudjoe sat alone in his small room, his phone started ringing, and it was Asari calling, a mutual friend of his and Duffie. The news that Asari delivered was like a dagger to Cudjoe's heart. Duffie was getting married. Cudjoe was in shock. How could that even happen? Duffie was getting married. They were still dating, they had not even broken up, and yet she was about to marry someone else. I mean, how is that even possible? So, are you enjoying the story so far? The drama and all? Please like the video and drop some red love in the comment section to show your support, and I really appreciate it. Let's get back to our story. So desperate for answers, Cudjoe confronted Duffie, hoping to hear the truth because he still couldn't believe his ears. And when they finally spoke, Duffie's words were cold and final. She could no longer waste her life on Cudjoe since he could not offer her the financial security that she needed. The man that she was set to marry was wealthy and capable of providing her with the life that she had always dreamt of. Cudjoe's world crumbled before him. the sacrifices that he had made, the love that he had poured into their relationship had all been for nothing. His heart ached with a pain that he had never known all his life. And in the days that followed, Cudjoe's sorrow intensified. He withdrew himself from the world. But his mother, Mami Akosia, cried and begged Cudjoe to pull himself together, encouraging him that a breakup doesn't mean the end of the world. And looking at how worried his mother was, Cudjoe finally found the resolve to move on, and he promised himself that he would not let this betrayal be the end of him. Cudjoe worked really hard, and after a few years, he set up a transport business in the city which flourished, and eventually he found so much success in his life. He never forgot about Duffie, and he also never allowed himself to be consumed by the bitterness of her betrayal. One day, while attending a funeral in his hometown, Cudjoe saw a familiar face. It was Duffie. They both had their roots in the same town. In Finsi was their hometown. So it wasn't surprising that Duffie had come to the funeral as well. She still looked beautiful and well catered for. Their eyes met, and for a moment, time stood still. She gave him a weak smile, but Cudjoe simply nodded and walked away. And in that moment, Duffie briefly wondered what her life would have been like if she had been patient with Cudjoe. Would you have chosen any differently if you were in Duffie's shoes? I'm really curious. Please drop your thoughts in the comment section. And if you enjoyed listening to the story, please don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends and family, and check out the amazing African stories we have here on our channel. Stay safe, everyone. Until next time.